everyone. Welcome back to the Crossover Podcast, episode number 22. And today we're going to start off with some news that's not really related to the main gist of the podcast, but I thought it was important. And also just a disclaimer, if you're watching this on like YouTube or something, that my camera might cut out a bit, so I might switch back and forth from my laptop camera and this one. All right. Anyways, let's start off with some news today in the NBA. I saw this on Twitter where, I was just scrolling through and I got this notification of a tweet that I might have wanted to check out. And here goes the camera. So we're going to switch to my laptop camera. All right. So John Wall is voted on Instagram that he will leave the Houston Rockets. Now, if you don't know, on Instagram, there's these, you could do votes where you have an account that puts something on their story and you could have people vote on it, yes or no, usually. And so if we go down in this article, the account called Clutch City Nation said, will John Wall get traded, bought out, or will he stay? And so the two sort of comments here, two votes, where said he will stay or he's going to go. And then they tag John Wall in it. And then on the right here is John Wall saying that he voted that he's going to leave. In my opinion, like I kind of knew he was going to leave. I just didn't think he was going to do this. So just based on the Houston Rockets season, just look at the standings right now. So the Houston Rockets, they're last place in the Western Conference, only 17 wins. So just based off that, and then John Wall's contract, John Wall's making like $40 million this year, and I think next year too. Just based on that, John Wall, it just doesn't make sense for the Houston Rockets and himself to continue playing there. And I would assume that John Wall would probably want to play for some type of contending team. Let's see. We'll try and switch back to my my webcam here. Sometimes it cuts out, but all right. Sweet. All right. So that's sort of the main thing going on right now on social media in the NBA. To create a big buzz, obviously, and the thing about doing these posts is that his vote can't be taken down. So he can't like change his vote to say that he's going to leave or stay. But yeah, I think my camera's working now, so we'll keep it here. All right. Let's see, what was I going to say? Yeah, so he can't delete. He can't take down the vote unless the article, whatever the name was, Clutch City Nation, deletes the story, which I don't think they will now, because of what's going on in the media. But yeah, so that's sort of my thoughts on that. Might spark some debates here and there, but yeah, overall, John Wall probably going to be leaving next season. I'm guessing by a trade, because I don't think John Wall will want to give up his $40 million contract. And then the Houston Rockets buying them out, and then another team signing him for maybe like $5 million or something. Sort of like what Blake Griffin did and Andre Drummond, those types of guys. So, and John Wall is still a pretty good athlete, right? Very fast. He's very compared to Russell Westbrook when they were both in their primes. But John Wall, obviously with injuries and stuff, isn't producing as well as he was in the past but he's still getting 20 points a game, 7 assists, shooting 40, 31, 74, which aren't bad, but they're not great. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on to the main topic for today is the Mba Awards. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. And now my camera's messing up again. All right. Let's move this back. All right, Mba Awards. So today we've got the Mba Awards, if you don't know, it's just the regular season awards that get given out after the season. Makes sense. So there are, I think there's about like six awards. So there's the MVP, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Improved Player and Coach of the Year. And so we're going to be going over that and just sort of my thoughts on each. So let's start off with the MVP award. So sort of the front runners for MVP are Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Chris Paul, and Steph Curry. I would say those would be like the top 5 right now. You could throw Kevin Durant in there. You could throw James Harden. But just based off games played and production for the team, I would say those would be my top 5. I talked about this earlier in my other podcasts on the previous episode, that my pick would be Jokic, just based off number of games he's played. I don't think he's missed a game, or if so, very few. And when Jamal Murray went down, he's still producing just as well as he was before. So, my pick would be Jokic. And then second, I would probably put Embiid or Chris Paul. Chris Paul's, I don't think, has been in the MVP conversation enough. I think the Phoenix Suns have done really well since he's been on the team. And I think without him, they wouldn't be in the 2nd seed or even close. I think they'd be maybe a 6th or 7th seed if they didn't have Chris Paul, and if they stuck with Ricky Rubio or something like that. All right, MVP conversation done. Actually, we'll go back to it because I mean Steph Curry is up here, and I think he's leading the league in scoring. Let's just take a look. NBA scoring leaders. Yeah, so Steph Curry's averaging like 32 points a game, which is ridiculous. But when I'm looking at the MVP, I'm looking at who's getting the most production out of their team with the stats they're producing, if that makes any sense. So even though Steph Curry is averaging 32 points a game, just looking at the NBA standings, Golden State is 8th in the Western Conference, and that doesn't mean that Steph Curry isn't as good, or numbers mean nothing. I'm just saying that even though he's getting this many points, it doesn't make any sense that he should be in the MVP conversation just based off his production, or not his production, his impact on the team's success. That's what I was going to say. But yeah, other than that, I would say Jokic is your MVP this year. Yeah, I mean, you could also put like Donovan Mitchell or something, just because the Jazz are doing really well too. So, but I would say Jokic. Okay, MVP conversation is done. And we'll see if we can switch back to this camera again, because I don't want to use my laptop camera. So let's go back to here. It might cut out again, but we'll see. All right. Now Rookie of the Year. So Rookie of the Year conversation is very interesting this year because you have, I mean, kind of the two guys right now are Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball. Okay. Yeah, so Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball. It's a very tough one because LaMelo Ball, I think if he didn't miss as many games as he did, I would say he would be Rookie of the Year. But just based off of Anthony Edwards' consistency, I think he would be the Rookie of the Year. And he hasn't missed any games or few. So I'm taking that into consideration when I'm looking at the NBA awards, is how many games these guys have played, because we're seeing like, you know, James Harden not playing games and Kevin Durant, even though they're getting all these stats, it's like if you're not being consistent enough, I don't think you should be winning these awards. So just looking at Anthony Edwards' stats right now, he is averaging let's see, can't find the points, 19 points a game, shooting 41% from the field, 33% from three, and 3 assists and 5 rebounds, which are actually pretty good for rookie stats. I'm just based off, you know, number of minutes you're going to play when you're sort of the backup to D'Angelo Russell, but he is starting, which is good. And then getting, you know, almost 20 points a game in your rookie season is really good to see. Now, looking at LaMelo Ball's stats, let's go to Basketball Reference. He's averaging about 16 points a game with 6 rebounds and 6 assists. 36% from three, 44% from the field. So his numbers are much better than Edwards, but he's only played 49 games. And if we go back to Anthony Edwards' stats, he's played 70. So he's played every game this season. So when you miss, you know, 20 games of the season, and in this year we're playing less games. So, you know, when you miss maybe like almost a third of the season, right? I don't think you should be in these award conversations, even though he's getting all these, or he should be in the conversation, but he shouldn't win it. That's just gonna say. All right. Good. My camera isn't lagging out, so that's good. All right, let's go to the 6th man of the year. So right now we have MVP is Jokic, Rookie of the Year, Anthony Edwards. And I don't think many people would have much to say about that. I think that is very fair for MVP and Rookie of the Year. All right. 6th man of the year. 6th man of the year awards is pretty interesting. Let me just look at my camera was, I think I just jinxed it. My camera was doing really well and then it just lagged out again. I hate when it does this, but oh well. All right. 6th man of the year. The 6th man of the year is pretty interesting conversation, usually every year. Because there's always guys that produce a bunch of stats off the bench, and yeah. So right now I'm looking at an article called from Sportskeeda. I don't know. There's NBA 6th man of the year awards latest power rankings May 14th, which was yesterday. So it's very up to date. So right now they have number 5 as Bobby Portis, averaging 11 points a game on us, or yeah, 11 points per game. I don't know. These stats are really weird. I don't know why it's saying all this stuff. Okay, 11 points a game, 1 assist, 7 rebounds. Okay, and shooting 52% from the field. It's just very weird how it's laid out here, but I think I got it. All right. So number 5, Bobby Portis. And as you scroll down, we got Jalen Brunson, who's a very, very solid player. So he's got about 12.5 points a game, 3.5 assists per game, and 3.5 rebounds a game, shooting 52% from the field. So when you're shooting over 50% from the field, obviously you're in some pretty good company in the NBA. And you scroll down, we got number 3, Montrezl Harrell, averaging about 14 points a game, 1 assist, and 6 rebounds. So solid numbers. Also shooting 62.3%, which is crazy. And he's a very, very good defender too. I don't think he's missed many games either. So I think he's I think he's a good candidate for 6th man of the year in the top 3. Let's see, number 2, Joe Ingles. Very solid player, very underrated player. One of the most underrated players in the NBA, I think. He's got about 12 points a game with 5 assists and 4 rebounds, shooting 49%. So yeah, very solid player for the Utah Jazz. I think number 1, Jordan Clarkson, obviously. He is my pick for 6th man of the year too. So, and his stats are 18 points a game, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds, shooting 42.3%. Still solid. When you're shooting about 45-50%, you're shooting pretty good. And yeah, I would say this year Jordan Clarkson would be my 6th man of the year. And also his production on the Utah Jazz's success. They're the best team in the league right now. Yeah, I would say that Jordan Clarkson should be 6th man of the year. You can also put Derrick Rose in the conversation as well. I'm just not sure how many games he's actually started for the Knicks, because you have to like have a certain amount of games on the bench versus starting. So I think Derrick Rose has started for the Knicks recently, so maybe he can't be in that conversation, but you could put him in there. All right, defensive player of or 6th man of the year done. Moving on to defensive player of the year. So defensive player of the year conversation, I think, is very tough this year because there's lots of guys that can win it. Let's see. Let's move back to this camera again. Moving back and forth on the cameras. Maybe it'll work. All right, it'll work for now. Let's see. All right, 6th man of the year. Done. So right now we've got MVP Jokic, Rookie of the Year Anthony Edwards, and 6th man of the year Jordan Clarkson. Defensive player of the year. So there's tons of guys in the defensive player of the year conversation. I'm gonna bring up this article here. So it's from CBS Sports, I think. Yeah. So it says NBA Defensive Player of the Year race. So right now, sort of the top guys are Ben Simmons and Rudy Gobert. That's what they're saying. Maybe I agree, maybe I don't. I'll let you know in a bit. So right now, number 1, what they have is Ben Simmons. So he's averaging 14 points a game, 7 assists, steal a game, and I don't know what this other stats is. I think it says 3-pointers per game or something, which is very low. Obviously, Ben Simmons doesn't shoot threes, so yeah, sort of the running joke in the NBA world. So, they even have some little videos here, so we'll play these videos. Game from Ben Simmons going against James Harden. So James Harden, obviously one of the best offensive guys in the NBA, even in NBA history. So Ben Simmons steals the ball from him, dunks over Harden. It is pretty good defensive play there. And I don't know when this was, but yeah, pretty good play from Ben Simmons. Number 2, Rudy Gobert, averaging almost 3 blocks a game, which is crazy, and 14 points a game and 13 rebounds a game. I would say, like, just based off the blocks alone, he should be in the conversation. And I don't think there's enough, Utah Jazz guys in these NBA awards, because even though they're being the best team in the league, right? You should have at least one of those guys in the MVP conversation, maybe, or Donovan Mitchell, for example, big star in the NBA. Maybe you could put him in the MVP conversation. I don't know. But yeah, Rudy Gobert. Let's see. Oh, I think they might have videos for every one of these guys. So, so this is from Ken Clayton. Your quick version of Rudy turning back 3 Spurs in the first quarter, then nodding to tell them that's right. So let's see. Little 10-second clip here. Nice block. And then just kind of being in a good defensive position to not allow the Spurs to get a bucket. We got number 3, Joel Embiid, getting scoring a lot this year. 29 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 1 block, 1.4 blocks a game. So it says here, Simmons isn't the only Sixers player that has publicly stated that he believes that he should win Defensive Player of the Year. So who knows? He's a good candidate too. I just don't think he's as good as a defender than Ben Simmons and Gobert. But here's a little clip, clamping up against Drew Holiday. I mean, it's not the best matchup for Drew Holiday, but sure. I mean, if that was against Giannis or something, it might be more impressive clip, but yeah. And speaking of Giannis, he's number 4. And of course, my video stops again. All right, let's move. I mean, I am looking at this screen here too, so it's probably a better angle for you guys. All right, number 4, Giannis. I mean, it's when you have, that length, it's pretty easy to block shots. And let's take a look at this video here. Against the Brooklyn Nets, blocking KD, and then Kyrie hits a shot. Well, we won't count that, but blocking KD. I mean, not many people in the NBA can block a shot just based off the reach alone. So, and then Kevin Durant's handles as well. And number 5, Miles Turner, 12 points a game, getting 3.38 blocks a game, which is crazy, which might be the reason why he's here, but we'll see. I don't know what's going on here. This is like a minute long. So, here we go. Miles Turner with nice block. Let's see. Driving down. Miles Turner with another block. Gets the Mavericks. Anything else here? Passing it back. Is Luka or Porzingis? Miles Turner with the block. Nice blocks there. Could be goaltending. Very close to goaltending. It's tough to see at that speed, but no, not goaltending. Nice. So yeah, those are the top 5 guys right now. Was it Ben Simmons, Rudy Gobert, Joel Embiid, Giannis, and Miles Turner. And I would say Rudy Gobert. Even though he's won it so many times, I just think he's the best defender in the league, in the paint. I would say the best defender in the league would probably be like Kawhi or something, or Ben Simmons maybe. But yeah, I would say Rudy Gobert. His defensive impact on the Utah Jazz's success, coming back to the point of the MVP conversation, I think speaks to his level of performance or whatever. All right. And most improved player. So just recap, we got MVP Jokic, Rookie of the Year Anthony Edwards, Sixth Man of the Year, Jordan Clarkson, Defensive Player of the Year. It's tough. I would say it's between Ben Simmons and Rudy Gobert, but I'm going to give the edge to Rudy Gobert. And then we got the most improved player. Now, I mean, I don't think there's really a huge debate on this one. I would say it's Julius Randle. All-star this year. I don't think he was very similar to Pascal Siakam. He was a very good, role player last year. I think he started when he was on the Pelicans. He was a pretty good producer on the Pelicans, and then being the number 1 option of the Knicks, he just excelled and has been outstanding. Let's just take a look at his stats right now. Julius Randle stats. So this season is 24 points a game, shooting 41% from 3, which was a big addition to his game. Yeah, he didn't really get a 3-point shot until this year. And then getting 10 rebounds and 6 assists. Obviously, big all-star numbers. He could be in the MVP conversation as well, just based off his production of the New York Knicks' success. Without him, they wouldn't even be close to a 4th seed. But yeah, Julius Randle has been really, really good this year, and I think he should definitely be the most improved player. Let's take a look at his stats last year, actually, compare it to this year. So if I can find the points per game here. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Yeah, so he's going from like 19.5 points to 24 points a game. And like more rebounds, more assists, shooting better. So yeah, he's definitely improving a lot. Very similar to Pascal Siakam. But right now I would say he's much better than Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam hasn't really panned out to what we've expected of him. But yeah, I would say Julius Randle, pretty obvious, most improved player. Probably the second to that would be like Chris Boucher or something. But yeah, Julius Randle, no complaints about that. And then the last item is the coach of the year. So right now I would say there'll be 2 candidates for coach of the year. I would say Tom Thibodeau of the New York Knicks, voice crack, and Monty Williams of the Phoenix Suns. Both teams, I think, if we were doing these, NBA predictions for the standings at the beginning of the season, I don't think anybody would have the New York Knicks as a 4th seed and the Phoenix Suns as a 2nd seed. So, I mean, I would say probably Monty Williams. I think the Suns didn't really make too many moves besides bringing in Jay Crowder and Chris Paul. And and just based off that, and they were a 10th seed last year, and now jumping up to the number 2 seed. Right? I mean, and I is he a first-time head coach? I'm not sure how long he's been with the Suns. But let's take a look. How long has Monty Williams with the Suns? Doesn't really say much. So Phoenix Suns, he was there for 2 years. So brought them from probably like 13th in the West or something to like a 10th seed, and then now the number 2 seed. So yeah, 2 years with the organization, and now they're from a non-playoff team to a title contender. I think he should win the Coach of the Year. Also, Tom Thibodeau, he's been really good too, but I think the Knicks have brought in a lot of talent, where they're able to be in that spot, whereas the Suns didn't really do that as much. Although Chris Paul obviously is a huge addition, but they didn't really shake up the team as much as the Knicks did. All right, let's see. Let's go back to this camera again. Switching between the cameras, but yeah. All right, so the wrap up of the NBA Awards: MVP Nikola Jokic, Rookie of the Year Anthony Edwards, Sixth Man of the Year Jordan Clarkson, Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert, Most Improved Player Julius Randle, and Coach of the Year Tom Thibodeau. Or Monty Williams, sorry, not Tom Thibodeau. Monty Williams. All right. I think that's going to conclude this episode of the Crossover Podcast. If you're watching this on like YouTube or something, I apologize for the camera. It's been really buggy for the past like week or so. I don't know what's going on, but could just be like my internet connection. It does say I have full bars of Wi-Fi, so I don't know. But yeah, that's going to conclude this episode. And you could watch this on YouTube, full episode on YouTube at the Crossover Podcast. It might be a bit tough to find the YouTube channel. I don't, because there's a bunch of like channels called the Crossover. But also, like, if you can't find it, you could go on my Instagram page at the Crossover Podcast. Got the links there, and that can send you to this video. And yeah, I'll try and fix up the camera. It might be pretty bad, but yeah, that's going to conclude the episode. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And the whole podcast is also available on Anchor, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the major streaming platforms. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.